Is Mojtaba secretly plotting to leave millions of Americans without water during one of the most intense heat waves in recent history? Was the recent, coordinated cyber intrusion that hacked into US water systems across multiple states actually Iran's calculated warning shot to Washington? Why didn't the attackers push further and cause widespread contamination or system failure? And does Mojtaba already have the chilling answer to that question? What exactly happened during the unprecedented cyber intrusion that caused water treatment and distribution systems to fail or malfunction across at least 12 US states? They successfully breached America's critical water infrastructure, but instead of causing chaos, they left behind a far more unsettling and strategic message for US officials. What if Iran's real target wasn't just water at all, but something much bigger, like the power grid, financial networks, or even the upcoming election infrastructure? A massive, coordinated cyber attack has struck water systems across a dozen US states, sending shockwaves through Washington and raising urgent fears over the security of America's critical infrastructure. The hacks triggered alarming drops in water pressure and even localized flooding in some areas. But officials insist that drinking water supplies remain safe and uncontaminated throughout the ordeal. US officials are now expressing deep concern that the hackers could have caused far greater damage, potentially poisoning supplies or crippling entire systems, but mysteriously chose to hold back. The FBI has launched a full-scale investigation to understand why the attackers deliberately stopped short of targeting drinking water supplies, a move that has left experts both relieved and unsettled. One senior US official warned that America may have only faced the hackers' C-team, suggesting that the real team could unleash something far more devastating in a future escalation. Iran is among the main suspects behind the intrusion, given past patterns and technical signatures, but US officials have not yet formally confirmed Tehran's direct involvement in the campaign. For years, the US has warned that adversaries like Russia, China, and Iran could target critical infrastructure, especially water, energy, and financial systems, during moments of heightened geopolitical crisis. Cyber teams linked to these nations are believed to have spent years quietly infiltrating and mapping sensitive American networks, waiting for the right moment to strike with maximum impact. Water and power systems that directly support US military facilities are now being viewed as high-value cyber targets by hostile nations seeking to exploit America's strategic vulnerabilities. States stretching from South Dakota to Georgia are now investigating some of the most severe and coordinated water system hacks the country has seen in years. Experts warn that chronically underfunded water utilities have become easy, almost inviting targets for foreign cyber adversaries looking to cause disruption without firing a single shot. Former US officials caution that rival nations are increasingly using cyber sabotage not just to damage infrastructure, but to undermine public confidence in the government's ability to protect essential services. A suspected cyber attack in Georgia disabled a critical water pump station, triggering a precautionary boil water notice and sending shockwaves through local communities. Rapid City, South Dakota, also reported a cyber incident that affected its wastewater system, forcing operators to switch to manual controls while federal partners joined the investigation. Officials now fear that future cyber attacks could target chemical control systems at water treatment plants, potentially threatening the safety of drinking water for millions of Americans. Washington is battling one of its most destructive wildfire disasters in recent memory, with entire neighborhoods reduced to ashes as relentless flames leave a trail of devastation. A massive wildfire continues to rip through the Spokane region, forcing thousands of residents to flee their homes while firefighters struggle to gain ground with the blaze still at 0% containment. At least 15 major wildfires are raging across Washington state, scorching nearly 250,000 acres of land as emergency crews race to contain multiple fast-moving fronts. The Spokane complex fire alone has already consumed more than 7,700 acres, with officials reporting 0% containment as powerful winds continue to drive the flames into new areas. More than 600 homes, businesses, and other structures have been destroyed as the wildfires carve a path of destruction across the Spokane region, leaving entire communities devastated. Authorities have ordered the evacuation of around 60,000 people from the Spokane city limits as multiple wildfires continue to burn unchecked, threatening more neighborhoods and critical infrastructure. Despite the widespread destruction and the speed at which the fires have spread, officials say there have been no reported injuries so far, offering a rare glimmer of hope amid the unfolding disaster. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown has described the unfolding wildfire emergency as the worst natural disaster in the city's history, saying entire communities have been devastated by the relentless flames. The Old Trails fire has already scorched more than 3,600 acres of land, destroying at least 640 structures as firefighters continue battling the rapidly expanding blaze. The Fairview fire has burned through more than 1,000 acres, with emergency crews battling not only the flames but also extreme weather conditions that continue to hamper containment efforts. The Autumn Lane fire has consumed over 3,300 acres and continues to spread unchecked, with officials yet to establish meaningful containment as dangerous conditions persist. Authorities are still assessing the full extent of the destruction and have not yet confirmed how many of the damaged or destroyed structures were homes, schools, businesses, or other critical buildings. Senator Maria Cantwell says an unprecedented combination of extreme heat, strong winds, and exceptionally dry conditions created the perfect environment for the devastating wildfires to spread. Powerful wind gusts reaching up to 35 miles per hour, combined with hot and exceptionally dry weather, continue to fuel the fast-moving wildfires across the region. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson said President Donald Trump expressed his support for residents affected by the disaster and pledged federal assistance as recovery efforts continue. Firefighters and first responders have been working exhausting shifts lasting up to 30 hours without a break, risking their lives to protect homes, rescue residents, and stop the advancing flames. This comes as America's critical infrastructure faces renewed cyber threat concerns, with investigators examining whether there could be any connection to alleged Iran-linked cyber activity.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.